That's the song you hear at the start of the podcast, and you're hearing it again, which means the podcast is really starting. Hi, welcome to the Dark Rooms podcast. I'm Inky. We've got Psychic and Ozone _. Sadly, could not make it today. But now I'm here. It's been a while since I've been.
Yeah.
Psychic is currently not at their house, so there's going to be background noise possibly for the audio there. But we can get right into the good old podcasting, casting of the pods. Our talking is what I am referring to.
And here I am, and I bet a bunch of background noise just popped in. All right.
I wouldn't know.
Do we know the topic for today?
Yeah. I think Ozone mentioned
Well,
something about it.
first of all, hello, it's 2 a.m. Secondly, welcome to the podcast. Thirdly, we're going to be talking about the timeline again. Episode 4.
This is going to be one of
episode, what,
this is gonna be
like 500.
I'm sorry, this is going to be one of the
Favorite
worst episodes, like quality-wise. I'm sorry. I'm just apologizing ahead of time. I'm sorry.
We'll be fine. We're only 3 people who are trying to talk about the storyline of Funny Bear Game when it is a pile of spaghetti.
Yep.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hate you.
We've come to that point as a franchise.
Now, before we get into juicy timeline stuff, should we get into juicy I am not ready to do this podcast.
Do you want to back up a bit? Let's take that a little slower and without any questionable imagery.
Okay. What?
Huh?
Get your mind out of the
Okay.
gutter, Inky. That's the
But right, before we go into the timeline, would you guys like to hear about Lally's game?
Sure.
I'll hear about your mother.
Okay. Well, basically, you know how we've already talked about the supposed preview for Frailty and the pendant and the necklace or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember. I was there
Yeah.
for that briefly.
We talked about that. And yeah, I was like, well, I'm placing my bets right now. This is gonna be Eleanor. And then everybody else was like, no, this is not gonna be Eleanor.
Is
It's just gonna be the pendant.
Wait, is Eleanor back? Is this gonna be spoilers?
This isn't spoilers. Well, it is, but it's not big. It's not big thing. It's only a small thing. It's only a small thing.
Spoilers, but it's not spoilers.
It's out on the preview right now. Okay.
We don't read the previews, also.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm telling you. So,
There's a
the
reason
thing-
we don't read the previews, also.
the thing about Jessica is that she is using the pendant, and it's making her more frail.
Who is Jessica?
She's the protagonist. She's the
Okay.
one with the pendant
Fair
who's
enough.
like saving
Fair
people.
enough. I probably could have.
She's doing it, but she feels like a need to do it. So it's like her only obligation in life is to do this. She doesn't have like a family anymore. She doesn't have anyone in her life. This is her only purpose in life right now.
All
Is
right.
to like save people.
What's your point?
And the
mean,
other,
If that's
the
gonna be your
other
only
thing,
purpose, might as well have a good one.
the other thing is that they're going basically at school because she has to try and like fit in and stuff. She has a partner who are both gonna like make a robot, and the partner who she was with was like, let's go to the junkyard to go and get some parts for the robot. And Jessica was like, no, I can't go there.
So, what's your point? So what? You think that Jessica's Eleanor and she's being good all of a sudden?
Well, no, I'm just pointing out that before I was like, Eleanor. I'm calling it that Eleanor is coming back in the
there's
series.
more Eleanor connections.
It's not.
I
doubt it.
I personally think that Jessica was an Eleanor victim.
Listen.
Just putting it out there.
Listen. I get it.
See.
I wouldn't like it though, because listen, what was the point of the epilogues then? If she's back, you know, it's like, well, those were worthless. You know,
What was the point of FNaF 3 if Afton just came back in FNaF 6?
I wouldn't
Did
like
someone
it.
just shout ho?
What?
I just.
I mean, they're playing Smash
Anyway.
Bros, so maybe.
That's all I have. But like, yeah, we got a nice little extended preview.
In other
That's-
news, I finished Felix the Shark, not the book, but the story.
Oh my.
Oh, the story. What did you
Yeah,
think?
the story. So I know this is a little off topic. Like we are going to talk about the timeline eventually, but you know, it's just sort of like a catch up. Little about just what's been going on, I guess. So Felix the Shark felt different. I don't know if it's hard to like say what I feel about it because I'm experiencing it in a much different way than I would have otherwise. Being Ozone's audiobooks, which I did end up like listening to the rest of the way because I wasn't pressed for time anymore.
Vamos a ir a la del soup.
¿Sí?
Sí.
So I think I think Ozone was probably a little right in saying that the middle part of the story was kind of padded out a bit. Like we could see where it was going. Like as soon as the butterfly pendant thing was there, like okay, that's the key. Just find the lock already. Beginning was cool. Pretty standard Fazbear Fright's protagonist feeling sort of guy. And the ending was yikes. I'd hate to be the next guy that finds that place.
I think it's a very mid-tier story. It's like your standard Fazbear Frights.
It did feel
Like
that is.
it did
I
feel
agree.
dragged out.
I think I think that's a good way of putting it. It felt very by the book standard Fazbear Frights experience.
Which isn't necessarily bad, but
Right. So it's a mid tier, and I will actually get around to my tier list. Like, don't worry, it's gonna happen. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
timeline.
just wait until you get to the scoop.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit into the scoop.
What do you think of the first few pages?
I don't know how I feel about it yet because I don't know. It's very meta, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It might be too meta. That's where I'm at right now. It's very meta. It
Yeah.
might be too meta.
Okay.
Because
Do we want to talk about the timeline?
well, I guess one more thing I would say about that is that, like, obviously referencing the games in the story wasn't really a problem for me because, like, they're quote unquote canon, I guess, with
Yeah.
But then it started getting into like these like parody sites, almost like there was like some Reddit equivalent, and it was like just it felt very. That part at least felt very like Emoji Movie or Ralph Breaks the Internet kind of style, where it's like, hey, look, it's the internet. I don't know. That's where I'm at right now.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
All right, so timeline. Where'd you guys leave off?
Okay.
I don't think I was here for this previous.
So yeah, you weren't there. We left off at around Ultimate Custom Night. So
we just tackle
okay.
like VR AR security breach then, or actually
Well, that and Fazbear Fright.
right. I was gonna say.
I don't know which one I want to do. I don't know if we want to like go through the Fazbear Frights and work out where everything fits in.
I mean,
Last time,
if people have made the comparison that Man in Room 1280 literally shows us the events of Ultimate Custom Night, so we might want to start there.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, last time we did like Save Them, FNaF 2, Bite of 87, FNaF 1, Freddy's Closes, follow me in 1995, not 1997 Psychic, Into the Pits in
I'm curious about the
2015.
years for that, but I can probably just watch the episode to find out.
The year of 1995. I think that's when William dies in the books. Yeah. And then there's a sister location gameplay sometime between FNaF 1 and FNaF 3.
Yeah.
And then 3, 6, Ultimate Custom Night. And that's where we left off.
And that's where I kind of wish it stopped. Yeah.
So,
despite being the whole quote unquote new chapter, whoa, Five Nights at Freddy, new story, Glitchtrap's gonna build an army, it's gonna be cool, Vanny's gonna be a character, it's a lot of the same and a lot more of a mess from here on out.
yeah. First of all, before we actually get
Alright,
into
I'm
like...
back. People left. Let's go. Okay.
Welcome back, Psychic.
Also, I'd like to apologize
People
if these two become glitchy at any point. Connection's not the best. I'm sorry.
We're working under
Before-
suboptimal conditions, but the show must go on.
Yes, it must. Don't worry, this will never happen again.
Before-
Listen, can I just explain why it's so bad today, real quick?
Okay.
So basically, we have kippers come on Sunday at like 1, and then we get off like Saturday at 11, and then normally everybody goes home, and then we record, and there's nobody here to make noise or interrupt. But this week is mega week, so there's 2 weeks as one for some campers, and so they're staying over the weekend. So now a lot of staffers are still here, and they're taking their break in the other room right now, and they're doing laundry and stuff, and a little bit of a mess.
Wow.
Laundry, my favorite.
So yeah, this is like the worst episode we'll ever do. Don't worry, this isn't like gonna be the new norm. But the show must go on, like Inky said.
Okay.
Let's make the most of it.
I'm sorry. Now I feel dumb for talking. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. I'm sure the viewers understand.
Yeah, better to explain it than to just have random voices in the background and wonder and have the viewers wonder
Yeah,
if they're
Matt
hearing
Pat.
voices in their heads.
Okay. Oh, schizophrenia. Okay. Before we get into the Man in 1280, there is actually one thing that we completely forgot about last episode,
Yes, sir.
which is FNaF 4. It's ironic that underscore isn't here.
The dream
because-
segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does that come in?
I think it's another thing that. So my opinion on the FNaF 4 gameplay segments about as far as where they take place on the timeline, my opinion is that it does not matter at all. Because we
Okay.
know it's after FNaF 1 because it has the FNaF 1 phone call, and we know it's before the logbook, because Mike writes about it in the logbook. So really, it could be any time between those things, or an idea that I personally like is that it is all the time between those 2 points, and that Mike has to deal with
Jesus.
it every night,
My God.
which would be terrible. But
Wow. Michael really did survive 5 Nights at Freddy's.
he survived a lot more than 5.
Huh. Okay. The one thing I do want to ask about is Plush Trap.
Plush Trap. What about
Because
him?
Plush Trap is like mini Spring Trap.
So, I mean, there's a kid in FNaF 4 minigames who has a Plush Trap toy. So
Yeah, and the other thing is an out of stock. Obviously, the Plush Trap pieces are mass produced by
Mhm.
that point. But like, it's still weird how it matches the design of Springtrap, even though Springtrap was only brought into the FNaF 3 location in 2023. Anyway,
Yeah, I think it's I don't think necessarily even matches Springtrap all that much. It's just like a dirty yellow rat.
True.
Uh,
Who
But
the
yeah.
frick buys that?
The out of stock kids, of course, they're obsessed with the thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, back to Fazbear Frights. I have no idea how they fit into a timeline. I mean, like, obviously, they're after FNaF 6, probably, yes? They have to.
Well, there's like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Everything that has to do with,
Infinite
Afton.
blanks from the past.
Right. Everything that has to do with Afton has to take place after FNaF 6.
Yeah.
So, by proxy, everything that has to do with Andrew and the Stitch Wraith and Jake also has to take place after FNaF 6.
Correct.
Landing it all
But
in
then
the mid 2020s.
Then you have like stories that are connected not by any of them, like Room for One More, which we know to happen during Sister Location or before Michael shift there.
Right.
That's
So
literally
we've
filling
got-
in blanks from the past.
Yeah. So a lot of them are just snippets from different points of the timeline that don't really matter all that much, like just seeing different perspectives. And then we've got like the Stitch Wraith stories, which all happen after FNaF 6. Starting, would it be safe to say that the Stitch Wraith like saga as far as stories starts with the Man in Room 1280, and also probably simultaneously the real Jake?
I would say so.
Yeah. So I forget. Fetch has Andrew, right?
Which Fetch has Greg babysits Jake. Oh, but
Greg
Fetch.
from
Okay.
Yeah.
Fetch does have Andrew's agony. Yeah.
Right. So does that happen after Man in Room 1280, or is Andrew's agony just so prevalent in everything? Like, do we know when Andrew was even murdered?
I think underscore put it in 1983, but that's a wild guess, I'm sure. That definitely doesn't make sense if Andrew is like a kid. Oh no, because he's a soul.
Well, yeah, kids, souls. Once you die, you kind of stop aging.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, FNaF lore is an absolute mess.
Hey guys, I moved to a slightly quieter location.
Oh, nice.
Okay, sister location.
Also,
The sister location.
The connection should be a bit better, so hopefully this will fix our issues.
Like,
yeah,
it's so tangled.
So let's get this straight. So the Man Who 1280, that's also connected to like Fetch, 1:35 a.m., The Real Jake, other events.
Where does Eleanor come from? Where does she fit in? What's her timeline?
I love how I keep saying underscore said, but underscore said.
He's the timeline guy, really, honestly.
Apparently, Eleanor was like ejected from Afton to go on a quest to I don't know.
What?
Listen, I'm not underscore.
When you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous. Not gonna lie. I mean, to be fair, all this is ridiculous.
I think I described it. I described it as the opposite of Elizabeth's death.
Opposite? How? So, what?
That is ridiculous.
Afton claws out and Eleanor, and then she goes about her day.
So did Afton build Eleanor?
No,
I don't know. Because Eleanor
honestly,
is a robot. Eleanor has an on button.
Yeah.
Right. So, is Eleanor possessed? I forget.
No.
Or
I'd say she's more agony than possessed.
Okay. Follow-up question then. Who's agony?
Afton's.
Afton's agony.
All right.
Brings a, let's say, let's say for the sake of design, like a prototype circus baby. Brings it to life.
They just found a circus baby robot, and then it was like, oh, this cool wiring or pipe would do, and then make a really long neck out of it.
They put a bunch of pipe cleaners together, one of those bendy little.
Yeah.
Sounds like something I'd make in arts and
Funny
crafts
if it
this
was
year.
Taller.
Today,
Sculpture.
in arts and crafts, we're building murder machines.
So then she influences a bunch of stuff and tricks the one guy into thinking she's his daughter. Right?
Huh? Oh yeah, Dr. Talbot. Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's never really we never really get told how Eleanor got the pendant,
Yeah.
because the pendant was created by Talbot to heal his daughter Ronelle.
You know, Psychic, I know it might be frustrating if Eleanor comes back, but it might be necessary with how much we still don't know about her.
So, one thing that I'm hoping Tails will clear up is how on earth, if Frights is canon, how on earth Afton goes from the amalgamation and being sunk in a lake or whatever to suddenly being a physical being in Security Breach at the pizza place again. Yeah. I'm hoping that will clear it up.
Why does
Tails
nothing ever
clears
make
that up,
sense?
Everything is 100% canon.
How? Because, okay, so Glitch Trap had an amazing explanation in Man Under 1280, roughly, possibly. It's a theory, but it makes a lot of sense. Whereas when Afton exploded in the distribution center, he got into the circuit boards.
Yeah, and that's FNaF VR, AR,
Right.
and Stitch Race Singers.
That all makes sense. But then Security Breach comes in, and suddenly there's a corpse. I still don't want to believe it even is Afton's corpse. Because it shouldn't be, because there's inconsistencies. There's an arm where there shouldn't be. So
this is the biggest problem, I would say, with Fazbear Frights being canon.
Even I would say it's more of Security Breach's problem to solve. That I don't know. I you know, again, I respect the passion.
What if none of it's canon?
Went into. Oh, that would be a nightmare.
Well, Inky, if you think about it, sorry to cut you off, but if you think about it, if Fazbear Frights didn't exist, it would still make sense.
That
like FNaF 6 happens, he's still in the pizza place.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And then Ultimate Customer happens in the pizza place, and then he suddenly gets revived by Vanny.
Sure, but corpses still don't regrow arms when they're dead.
That's why Vanny built a new.
Do you know that for certain?
Okay. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I think it would be so much better if that corpse is not really even Afton, but Vanny has been literally from scratch putting together a body for Afton.
I agree with you there.
That would be better. It's a stretch just because of how things are framed and how it's like it looks a lot like a corpse, yes. And it would be weird to say that instead of just assuming the obvious and saying that it's Afton's corpse, that it's like, oh, it's somebody else's corpse that she stitched together. That's a stretch. I admit that. That is an insane stretch.
Henry and Michael!
It's an insane stretch, but it's the only way I can see it actually working, which is very annoying, and I think, again, I respect the passion put into Security Breach, but I think it causes way too many problems and is not worth it.
I seriously think Tails can clear it up.
I hope it does.
What about Ruin?
I really hope it does.
You know, Tails is I would say is definitely a prequel to Security Breach, while Ruin is a sequel. But
yeah, I hope things, gameplay aside, I hope those two things fix, maybe not completely, but at least make it better what we got.
if in the epilogues for Tales we get Afton appearing again, I am pretty sure things will be cleared up. Like a lot of things.
I've said it once.
Because
Wait, listen. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I would love it to be 100% canon, but I still have doubts, and I'm worried that people are going to go into it thinking it's going to be 100% canon, and they're going to be disappointed and angry like they always are. Also, the AC turned on, so that's the background noise. Sorry about that.
See, everyone makes their opinions on everything before they even read it. Like they're like, "Oh, Phasma Frights, yeah, that's. I don't think that's canon." Oh, Tales, yeah, that's definitely canon. Yeah,
that's it's so ridiculous.
It's got Peterplex in the name.
But the thing about Tales is I'm worried about it a little. Not only, I think they're probably going to be good stories, most of them, even though I think it's at a major disadvantage already because it's stories about Security Breach, a game I don't really like the story of.
Not really.
At least for me. Okay. That's just my opinion. Not like a disadvantage for everyone. I'm gonna read them with an open mind. I'm just worried that like if they are 100% canon and people go in expecting that and they're right, if Tales introduces some more contradictions, inconsistencies, wild new ideas, it'll just plunge everything deeper into madness.
Vasco.
You know what? At this point, the title Into Madness for like a game, I think Scott was just predicting what was going to happen in the future.
Did you see the comment he made on the stream?
I did.
Yeah.
It was an Ozone server, right?
I think so. Yeah.
On the Dorco stream that he has been doing today. He was like, "There are big things coming this year."
Oh, right. He did say that.
Probably the movie.
I thought you were talking about the Poppy Playtime floor.
Scott plays Poppy Playtime with his kids on Roblox.
On Roblox. Good old Scott.
What a mad lad. What a mad lad.
Oh, did he play Crab Game with Dawko?
He played Crab Game with Johnny Blocks.
Oh, wait. That's right, didn't he?
That was ages ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember. See, I remember
at
that. I remember that being familiar. So, let's see. Where were we? Took a bit of a side road there. Right. Tales from the Pizzaplex.
Yeah.
They have potential. They have a lot of potential for both good and bad, so I'm just gonna wait to see what it gives.
Well, I think they're going to be really good.
I don't doubt that they're going to be good stories. That's something I'm sure of, at least. What they do for the franchise, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, they could go anywhere at this point, but I think the books are good at asking and mostly answering questions,
but not answering some of the most important ones.
Well,
I
feel like they try to. I think the theory community just ruins it.
I also think
they ruin everything.
Where it is,
ruin.
It is ruin. It is so obsessed, I think. And we've talked about this before, but just to reiterate, FNAF's popularity has generally, you could say in a general sense, has hinged on the mystery.
Yeah, so I think it's more than the horror of it.
I think FNAF, for a long time now, has been more obsessed with adding more questions and more details and more mysteries, more obsessed with that than actually solving any of the ones.
The thing is, though, what made it so interesting is that the mystery could be solved back in, 2014, 2015. Those could be solved. Now it's just like, oh, here's another question. What's the answer? Violence is the answer. Actually, no. Violence is the question. The answer is yes.
I think Phasma Frights was really good, though, because it gave us a new kind of perspective and new mysteries to solve.
And more confusion.
Right. The problems start coming in when the answers to questions start contradicting other questions and other answers that we've been
I don't really know
or
what
when they come in
you're
parallels.
talking about.
security breach mostly. As far as Fazbear Frights, there's stuff like how does Fazgoo fit in? Unfortunately, how does Afton fit in? Like you said with the amalgamation, where does the Stitch Wraith fit in? How does any of this come together in a meaningful way? So it's again very messy. We should probably get back to the timeline though.
I mean, we're still talking about it loosely.
Yeah.
But yeah, my one big concern with Fazbear Frights being canon is Afton. That's like if that question is answered for me, I would be 100% sold.
Fair enough.
I like how all this came from just talking about UCN.
Talking about what?
Talking about UCN.
Oh, UCN, yeah. Because that's where it all starts, really. That's where the Fazbear Frights timeline starts in Man Room 1280.
Yeah.
So moving on, Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted. So
I mean, this stuff's pretty clear.
This is one after. So I think how underscore explained it is that again, I'm using underscore explain it this way. I'm sorry that underscore isn't here today. In the Man in Room 1280, basically two souls are attached to him. There's Andrew and Cassidy, right? And then he like explodes or barfs or whatever all over the distribution center. Cassidy's like, all right, Andrew, I'm gonna take the VR and the AR stuff. You can get the Fazbear Fright stuff.
and
then yeah. And so Andrew and Afton split into the real world, while Cassidy and Afton split into the digital world. And then it gets exciting.
I hate that you're right.
And then it gets exciting.
Yeah. It's quite satisfying though.
It's a little satisfying, but it's also a mess to think that like in 2015 it was like, yeah, purple guy killed some kids. We're still trying to figure out who he is. And now it's like, all right, so there's three souls and they explode and they go into virtual and physical realms.
Oh, you're so right. I hate it.
Sci-fi, baby, let's go!
So, obviously, the easier one to explain probably is Glitch Trap. Glitch Trap goes into the AR animatronics and the VR game. Cassidy follows, Princess Quest, blah blah blah. Vanessa, Vanny
plays
Jeremy dies. Yeah.
Jeremy dies. Scott Cawthon equivalent in the FNaF world previously made spin-off games because of he was hired by Fazbear Entertainment to get the rumors off their back by trying to say, oh yeah, that all just happened in funny little games.
A perfect 72 degrees.
A perfect 72 degrees.
When did that become a thing? When did that become a thing? Like,
a perfect 72 degrees.
That's in the best pair.
A perfect.
Well, yes, but okay. I'm out of the loop now. You guys are talking.
Psychic, you are butchering this podcast.
I really am. I'm so sorry.
Your words.
Oh boy, a perfect.
This is the new scuffed episode.
It really is, and I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. There's so much factors out of my control. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, no, we don't blame you at all. But yeah. So Vanny plays FNaF VR, gets possessed by Glitch Trap. But don't worry, guys. If you like that plot point, it won't amount to much.
Why are you so right? It's so right. It's so stupid.
This is gonna be the worst episode of the timeline. Not only in quality because of factors outside of our control, but because we're at the part of the timeline that kind of sucks.
Well,
true. Pretty true.
Get to the end of it then. So we don't have to do another stupid episode on Security Breach.
Yeah. Guys, we do like FNaF. This is a FNaF podcast, and we like FNaF.
We're just sad.
Alright, so glitch
I'm
up is
sad.
sorted. I'm also assuming that in the Ruin DLC, which is probably most likely 100% canon, it's actually the Afton ending, not the Princess Quest ending.
Well, I mean, sure, probably. We'll see. For sure. I mean, stuff might still happen that causes the destruction we see in the Ruin thing.
What if it's every ending?
Every
Why are you
ending?
so close to your mic, by the way?
Okay, listen, I'm sorry. But what if it's every ending?
Every
What if it's every ending that we've ever gone through?
Is that what it's been? Listen,
going on?
is that what it's been sounding like? Is that what it's been sounding like?
Occasionally.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, listen.
Not always.
I have to hold my mic in my hands, so I like bring it up to my mouth to talk. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Headphone warning, everybody, by the way. It's a little late, but,
I feel so bad that I've just like ruined
Also,
everything.
spoiler warning for special.
Anyways, FNaF AR. Fazbear Entertainment is back on its feet, inexplicably, after, FNaF 6, although maybe the games have something to do with that. Like, the FNaF games. So they're back up on their feet for some reason. Who knows who took charge of it? Games company making VR game, mall making mall, delivery service making special delivery.
Mall making mall.
I don't know. Listen. It may be late for you. It's starting to get a little late here too. The mall is self-generating.
I am now no longer right next to the air conditioning. Let's go.
The mall grows out of the ground.
I'm just imagining like someone loading a super flat Minecraft one. It's just it's been generated.
Terrain generating.
So this means, guys, that Security Breach can take place in 2026 because the mall only took 10 seconds to build.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. So, but yeah, I had an idea about like, what if you could like pick from like a couple endings and like that'll change like what Ruin happens in Ruin. It's probably like too
Maybe.
ambitious,
That would be
but it would be interesting.
That would be a very cool concept. Is it gonna happen? No.
No,
Yeah, it's no way it's gonna happen, but it'd be interesting.
Steel Wool needs to kind of get our hopes back up if we're gonna start thinking about fun stuff like that. Like, no offense, but they've set their own bar fairly low with the base game of Security Breach, especially.
Okay, guys, listen. Here's what happened. They made Security Breach purposely bad so that we'd have very low expectations for the next thing, and then when we get it, they're like, "Whoa, it's the best thing ever!" Totally.
Just like the old Sonic design in the movie.
Exactly.
For sure.
Conspiracy.
Your face is a
Forget the
conspiracy.
Parts conspiracy. It's the
I have
Sonic
hope for them.
movie conspiracy.
I think they need to go small, and they need to
Yes.
not be too ambitious.
I think
and
a
actually release things.
I think a well-polished small DLC story is just what they can specialize in. Like, I think
I think they've learned that quality is better than
Yes.
quantity.
Yes, and that they should not bite off more than they can chew. Overall, I'm
Size doesn't matter.
I'm hopeful for Steel Wool. I think they're doing their best back there, and I think Security Breach was a very good learning opportunity.
Yes.
Um,
Back to the timeline.
Back to the timeline. Special delivery happens. Vanessa, who is probably Vanny, but because of the mess that is Security Breach, might not be.
Vanessa is Vanny.
Vanessa, for the sake of this timeline, Vanessa is Vanny, despite the stupid craziness that happens in the fire ending. Because the emails basically tell us Vanessa's Vanny.
Yeah.
And to say that she isn't would be undoing the plot of Special Delivery. Which,
I don't think
mean,
Vanessa is Vanny.
It is Special Delivery, but interesting.
You don't think Vanessa's Vanny?
Briefly,
Nope.
without getting too into it, what do you think? What do you think the situation there is?
I think that
I can hear the
This
smile.
is a
I can hear the
joke. For
smile.
goodness
Yep,
sake.
I can hear the smile in your voice.
We have been rolled.
okay, hear me out, okay? Hear me out.
Oh no.
So we have Vanessa the night guard, but then the person behind the mask.
Okay, well you cut out, but all I heard was the mask, and I can only assume for the word.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of that.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's your favorite person.
Dream.
Nope.
Wait, dream is the opposite of nightmare.
It's your favorite person.
Astley?
Oh,
I think that's posted a Rick Astley gif in our group chat.
It's Rick Astley, totally. That's.
Honestly, I would not be surprised. That seems the character for the security breach.
Alright. So Vanessa is Vanny.
Yeah. And there's this Louis.
Psychic's opinion does not. Lewis. Yeah.
How's it spelled?
The AC turned off.
L-U-I-S.
Let's go. The AC turned off.
That's Louis.
Let's go.
That's Louise. That would be Louise then.
Well, I had a friend called with the same name called
Oh,
Lewis.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's Lewis.
Anyway.
Also the AC
So
turned
say
off, so
they
we have
say
a little bit of time just to talk normally. Cherish this. I'm cherishing it.
The therapist says Lewis anyway. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Kinda.
the therapist is
Oh.
Lewis.
Oh, okay, cool. Forgive me then.
You have been forgiven.
Oh, well, that was fast. Audience, forgive me. That might take a little longer. I seem to be popular, at least from the live episode. I don't know.
What?
I forget exactly. I don't know. It was probably just joking around. Let's see. AR
Okay.
happens. Not much of consequence happens in AR, really. You'd
Yeah.
think it would be if like people are having to deal with rampaging animatronics in their neighborhood. You'd feel like we'd probably hear something about that. But
Well, there's no ending.
it is FNaF AR.
True. It's FNAF AR, so.
We can't expect that much from it.
Well, we did get a lot of lore in the skin.
And the hidden emails. Wait, did you say the skins? Wait.
Ozone, I am.
Unfortunately, Underscore isn't here to explain the lore of the skin.
I'm suppressing so.
We can
so
only
much.
assume that someone set a spring trap on fire and
I am
dumped
so.
another in toxic waste.
I'm suppressing so much uncontrollable laughter.
Also, they reopened Circus Baby's Pizza World so that they could get the Circus Clown spring trap in.
True.
They drowned an Endo.
They did that too.
They tied him to cement. They
They
stuck
put
his
a
feet-
balloon boy on a mountain and brought him back.
Yeah, they left him out there. The
Yeah.
sick freaks. They left him out there.
Nice.
So yeah, the FNaF AR lore is very broad.
I'd say the FNaF AR lore is pretty clearly just to point to security breach, which is funny
Yes.
because when we get to security breach, none of the AR lore matters.
True.
Well,
Because especially if it's in question whether Vanessa is even Vanny, and I think that just makes it so that
Okay.
AR is not much at all if that's still a question
Look.
we have to deal with.
everyone listening, Vanessa is Vanny. 100%.
Unless she
There is-
isn't.
No,
Unless she
there-
isn't.
Who else is Vanny gonna be? Let's
Vanny-
be
I've
honest.
heard
Vanessa's
twin
sister.
theory.
Yes, I love twin theory.
That's ridiculous.
But what
But-
about
but
the
it's-
the fire
Ozone,
cutscene?
yes.
Everything in FNaF AR points to Vanessa being Vanny.
Yes. Ozone.
Everything in the tapes points to Vanessa being Vanny.
You're
We
right.
literally see it happen in FNaF VR.
You are absolutely right, but the fact that there is any room for doubt and that it's not explicitly cleared up in the fire ending means it's a possibility.
That's
Because
what I was gonna say.
FNaF is just at that point now.
In fact, let me go back. Everyone listening to this podcast, Vanessa is Vanny. The fact that this is a question around means that FNaF Security Breach didn't do its job very well.
It did not do
But
it. It did the
Vanessa
wrong job. It
is
did
100% Vanny.
Security Breach looked at the job listing, tried to get like the constructive like businessman job, like bettering the society or something. Security Breach tried to work at like a charity, but instead it took up a job as a hitman for the lore. It went
FNaF
and
just didn't update its
systematically assassinated like half of the lore. Speaking of
Okay.
Security Breach, when do we think it takes place?
2035.
That is the year I have heard recently. And is it because of that picture thing?
There is that picture, and also, I believe there is a balloon that says 40, and it's got something to do with it being 40 years after Afton's death in 1995. I have no idea how.
That sounds like
That
a
might be
stretch,
a
but I'll
stretch.
take it. Literally anything in Security Breach, you can look at like a ceiling tile and go, wait a minute, Cassidy's still alive. And you can be valid. You can honestly be valid in that, because Security Breach is just that messy.
2035 just generally also makes sense as a date.
Yeah.
You know,
You
the
can
Man in
build
Moon
them all in that
1280, the Man in Moon 1280 happens years after 2023. Then Tales from the Pete's Black Task will fit in sometime after Frights. You can assume that all of that's a few years.
It's a solid time frame and not like super wildly far into the future, like I was hearing like 2070 something.
Oh yeah,
Like-
definitely not.
Plus, like the state we see Fazbear Entertainment in with VR, AR,
It's a very good place.
Fazbear Frights. It is. They got back on their feet hefty, and
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like they're probably more booming in the late 2020s than they were
Yeah.
ever in the 80s at all.
They could probably bunt a child across a field and they'd be fine.
They'd probably live stream it.
Boris Johnson.
live stream it. Hey
Live
guys,
stream it to the
welcome back to my
official
YouTube
Fazbear
video.
Entertainment
Today
YouTube
I'm gonna
channel.
bunt a child across the athletic field.
And then they just advertise Freddy's. It's just like, if you don't want this happening to your child, come to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzaplex, where it's a safe place for kids.
Where you won't get
It's
murdered.
like how in Friendly Face, it's like a targeted ad. It's like, get your Friendly Face now to revive a lost pet, and it's like, make sure you come to Freddy so that you can get chucked across the field or something.
No, so you don't get chucked across the field. It's a threat. It's a subtle threat.
Oh, so you
It's a promise.
See,
if you
I would
don't
enjoy-
want
I would enjoy
your
it.
child to get punted across the field, come to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Make sure Woodland Toy Freddy doesn't catch you.
I hate my life.
They unleash. It's like friggin' Jurassic Park. I haven't seen the new one yet, even, but the friggin' dinosaurs got unleashed on the world in the previous one, so it's like they just unleash the animatronics on the world.
Okay, guys, hear me out. Okay, hear me out.
And
The
They become,
movie.
like incorporated into
Okay,
ecosystem.
guys,
Wait.
guys, hear me out. The movie is a prequel to FNaF AR, and it's like Jurassic Park, but with the animatronics.
Okay.
All the animatronics. Fazbear Entertainment. They would totally set up something like that.
No, it should be Alice in Wonderland, but everything is like a different animatronic.
A different animatronic skin.
Susie in Wonderland.
You got,
Nightmare
like,
Susie
little
in
red
And then
Wonderland.
she realizes she's walking on an animatronic.
Nightmare Susie in Wonderland.
Everything.
So I was just thinking, like, why has nobody made FNaF Pokemon where like you get like a fire spring trap and then you get a water spring trap? It's like all the evolutions.
Super effective. Afton finally died.
No, he only fainted.
He only fainted.
He always comes
The
back.
effects of Remnant only got neutralized.
Unless it's
Slap
not.
that thing in Nurse Joy's like Pokemon healer, and he's right back out there.
It's just sat on a healer station.
Oh, I hate everything. Oh my god.
We hope to see you again. Just go get in
Okay.
another fire.
Do we need to talk about Afton's other form, aka physical, aka Afton amalgamation, aka the agony?
AKA Burn Trap, friggin' who are you even?
He's Burn Trap.
AKA the friggin'
Sorry.
guy. And there's also the Spaghetti Man.
Sure,
Molten
the
Freddy,
man
but he's
in-
not Molten Freddy because he's the
God.
blog, and that's a creative name. Love that.
the story.
I love
Okay.
Burn Trap.
So the Manamu 1280 happens, and yeah, Glitch Trap is created from that. But also, Afton still lives on the surface.
But he exploded.
Yeah. Good thing, Dr. Dr. Phineas, he was like, yeah, Stitch Wraith,
Yeah.
and in that Stitch Wraith was Jake, was the fetch battery, which means Andrew was there as a cloak. Remember when we thought Stitch Wraith was Ennard?
Yeah.
Briefly, yeah. That was fun.
So, yeah.
I'm just glad Phineas from Phineas and Ferb grew up to have a very profitable job as a doctor.
Okay.
Good
And
for
the
him,
AC
you
is
know.
back. Oh my gosh. Can we scrap
so
this episode? Can we just like
Do you-
This is a good episode.
Oh
Stop
my-
complaining about the episode.
I think we've got.
I just
Good
feel
stuff
so
going on.
bad
It's-
and I feel so guilty that I feel like I've ruined everything.
The only
have
way
not
you're
ruined a
ruining it
thing.
is by talking that you're about ruining.
Meh.
Yeah.
Which happens.
Silence.
Gregory might be a robot. Actually, he's probably a robot. Is he a robot of the crying child built by Michael as like some sorry? I think. I don't know. Is he possessed by the crying child? I don't know. Are they all these possibilities? Yes. Sure.
Oh, you haven't heard what we talked about last time.
No, I didn't. What did you talk about last time?
So, Underscore made a video about Andrew existing in the game timeline and being the vengeful spirit. Then he got loads of comments like, what about
Fair.
Cassidy? So he made a video. He got loads of comments saying, where does Bite Victim come into this? And then he's soon to make a video on that. And he's split between two decisions. And these two decisions, they'll really wow you. I'm sure they will.
Oh boy.
Either the crying child is just floating in an endless abyss, just kind of just there because why not? Just there, used as like a plot device so that William can get angry at Henry for some reason, or whatever. Or Golden Trio.
Is there an option where Andrew isn't Golden Freddy? Because,
I don't
okay,
know.
I think a crucial detail that has been overlooked is that Bite Victim can't not be anyone because Golden Freddy says it's me to Mike.
Yeah,
There is no
See,
other
underscores- okay.
there's no other way to look at that.
Underscore's excuse to that is that they thought that he was William. So Andrew was like, "It's me, the one you should not have killed."
I can
And
see
technically,
that, but
and technically, through Underscore's theory, FNaF 4 is basically Michael's ultimate custom night.
I can agree with that. I do think I think Bite Victim is probably the cause of Mike's nightmares.
Okay,
Still,
I
I-
do agree with that actually.
yeah, I think it's a popular-ish theory that he takes the form of Nightmare, or something like that.
It's just like if Bite Victim is Gregory, then like, how did that happen?
Listen, I don't know. Let's just cover the quick events of Security Breach's messy plot. So Gregory's in the pizzeria. We don't know how long he's been there. He's been living there for a while. He's like a homeless kid, but he's not homeless because he's probably a robot. Probably nobody knows he exists, who he is, cares about him, except Freddy. Freddy's a good guy now. Is he Michael? I don't know. Is he Henry? I don't know. Is he an II? I don't know. Probably not, because he talks about being in the underground pizzeria. Right, underground pizzeria. Pizzeria from FNaF 6 didn't burn down, it was underground. Sinkhole, mall built on top of it, cover up, ha ha ha. Funny. Vanny, security guard, therapy, somewhere in there. Patient 46, who's that? I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Vanny kill a lot. Vanny kill Glamrock Bonnie, maybe. I don't know. Possibly. Vanny build Robot Man. Robot Man glitch trap Afton Man go into robot. Blob Freddy go haha souls. We never moved on. Nothing counts anymore. Glamrocks go burr. They Angie. They are AI, but they get all Angie because of glitch trap, and they go wow wacko. And Gregory have to escape pizza, and wacky hijinks ensue.
Gregory has to escape.
wacky hijinks ensue, and depending on what you do, you can slap up glitch trap with the help of Cassidy and free Vanessa, or you can push Vanessa off a roof, and Vanessa sees that Vanessa was pushed
I love
off
pushing
the roof,
people off roofs.
and
Was that ever explained? Oh, that's going to be evidence. Vanessa isn't Van. God.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
the Vanny robot dead, Gregory dead, Freddy dead ending. There's the one where you trip down the elevator, and there's
okay.
big Freddy, and there's
You
fire
forgot
again.
about the fact that there was even a missing children at security.
No, I said Vanny kill people.
Oh, did you?
I briefly mentioned it in that.
Okay, but
rambling
Vanny killed therapists as well.
True. This is correct. And
So-
that is
Equal rights,
basically it.
equal frights.
Equal frights. Yeah, that's
So-
security breach.
Should we try and touch upon Gregory? Like,
I
where
think
did Gregory come from?
If he's a robot, which he probably is, he was probably built by Michael, or if we get stories about him in the Pizzaplex, maybe there's another scientist guy who built a Gregory robot for his own ends. Maybe that's what, if there's epilogues in Tales of the Pizzaplex, it'll probably be Gregory's story.
I don't think that will be it.
Interesting.
Gregory was a missing child, we know that.
Was he? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because he's on the little newspaper.
Yes. So
is he a robot?
how does that make sense? Because either he's just completely not a robot, and that was like all for nothing. But I don't think it was, because there are so many upcoming things telling us like this person's a robot, this person's a robot. I just don't know what the process is of him becoming a missing child and then becoming a robot.
You know, Ozone and Psychic, I think
What's
this
up?
can all be summarized in a little story.
Fazgu.
So I'm working at camp this week, you know? I work
Oh my
at
gosh,
a day
same.
camp, unlike so I don't like to say the nights or anything.
Bunny, cool.
Yeah. I've been talking, with some kids. We talk about FNaF, we talk about game theory. I'm supervising the friggin' Gaga Ball pit, eh?
I love Gaga
One
Ball.
of the kids is on the swings, and I hear him like call my name, and so I turn to him and I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Hey, can you explain the lore of FNaF?" And I feel a little bad. I laughed out loud to his face, and I said, "Oh, buddy, I wish I could." And that, I think, is a good summary for where we're at right now.
Well, we're at an hour, so unless we have anything
I was
else.
trying to say, that's pretty much the timeline.
Yeah.
That's the timeline. Welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's, where nothing makes sense anymore, but we're still here for the ride because we like Funny Bear.
True. And I think I broke my microphone stand, so I'll have to fix that another time. Whoop.
If you are still watching this episode, thank you for bearing with us. It's been a little bit
Bearing.
rough, a little bit messy, but thank you for watching. Like the video
I'm
if you're watching
so
on
glad this
YouTube.
isn't gonna go to 5 episodes.
Yeah, we're done with the timeline. Yay. It's probably going to be completely overhauled in less than a year or something, if I had to guess, with how quickly everything changes. But we
Definitely
did
the
it.
last part of the timeline. Definitely what we talked about today.
Yeah.
Which is all irrelevant.
Why do we do what we do anymore? That was a joke. This is still we still like the podcast.
We do.
And that's pretty much
serious.
And
We
with
do.
With that all said, that's where we're pretty much going to be ending this episode. Thank you for listening.
72 degrees.
A perfect 72 degrees.
I still don't know what all that's about, but I'll play along. Perfect 72 degrees, guys. That's just about room temperature. Heck yeah, let's go.
Subscribe. Look at the
some 72
website of
degrees.
underscore. Look at my website.
Yeah, they have
subscribe to all of us. Happy
Yeah.
Pride Month. Happy Christmas. Oh, it's not going to be Pride Month anymore, but happy last Pride Month.
Yeah, we're recording this in
ourselves,
Pride
even though it's
Month.
not Pride Month.
Happy Pride, nerds. Inky's the
And
only one here
we'll
that's
see you
not
guys.
Pride. Lamau.
Fair. And bye, I guess. Wow. Even the
Bye.
72 degrees and
Bye.
whatnot. Bye.